Hi, I'm Mark Moreland, back with more on the Nights of Light. This time we're delving further into the darkness and how this quest thing can actually help us with that. Last time we raised the prospect of finding more meaning for your life. Maybe you're off track and are looking for a way to get yourself righted. You know by now you're not alone. We'll help you find what you're looking for. Some of you might still be on the fence of whether this Nights of Light thing might be for you. To that end, I want to share a story. It's from the son of a friend of mine who was in the Twin Towers on that fateful morning. Even though I've been given permission to share, I've changed the names to protect the innocent. Mike, as we'll call him, Mike's primary hope in sharing this was it helped people in understanding their faith and also listen to their internal instincts, their internal navigator. September 11th, 2001, another day in the World Trade Center. A brief walk from the lobby of Tower 2, up an elevator to the 78th, across the hall and up another to the 92nd. I set my briefcase down in my cubicle and was in the northeast corner of the building and gazed across a breathtaking Manhattan skyline, supporting a picturesque blue horizon. I walked back to my desk, zipped off a quick email to my fiancée in Chicago. The office was quiet. Few employees arrived before 9 a.m. on a normal business day. I sat away from the rest of my team, who had desks in an office near the core of the building. As I settled in, I could hear the rustling of a construction crew installing the last cubicles of a floor-wide build-out, and the first dedicated employees arriving at their stations. Only in hindsight can I hear the faint sound of a jet plane. As I sat at my desk, I heard a pop, glass shattering, debris flying. A flash out of the corner of my eye. "What was that?" someone yelled. I was instantly out of my seat, running for the north side of the building. Alarmed, I watched as a burning ball of debris plunged from Tower 1. Like a ticker tape parade, thousands of office papers drifted down to the streets below. It was like an explosion in a low-budget action flick, where a small blast creates an inordinate amount of debris. As the smoke from the initial explosion lifted, a gaping hole in Tower 1 revealed 5 floors of burning office space. What could have happened? It must be a terrible mistake. People must be hurt over there. Could it have been a bomb? An electrical fire? What? At that time, danger seemed remote. Do I stay here, evacuate, take the elevator, the stairs? As I watched the plume of dusty black smoke rise and fragments of the tower fall, I could feel my nerves react. Standing there, staring in disbelief, something deep inside took control. From the waist up, I was collected, but my legs, they were shaking. I could feel the fear in my legs. Run! I charged back to my desk in a blur. Why am I here? Phone. I grabbed my cell phone and headed for the core of Tower 2. Without ever having seen a fire escape on the floor, instinct led me straight to an emergency stairwell. I peered into the concrete passageway and hesitated. I glanced back down to the center hall of the 92nd floor where my colleagues were occupying. No, they'll be fine. I must get out. I entered the stairwell, surrounded by people I did not know. I was alone. As I took my first steps down, my legs nearly gave way. Concentrate, stay calm, put one foot in front of the other. Damn these heels! Do we really have to evacuate? 85? I can't walk down 85 more flights. As we continued down, bodies began to sweat and feet began to ache. Some people stopped at an occasional landing for rest, while others sacrificed a bag or briefcase. My legs were still trembling. Just keep walking in, you'll be fine. I wonder if we'll still meet with Terry at 10 a.m. Will they let us back in the building by then? I was nearing the 70th floor when the siren ceased and the intercom blared. Attention! There has been an explosion in Tower 1. Tower 1 is being evacuated. Tower 2 is secure. I repeat, Tower 2 is secure. Please remain calm, and please remain where you are. The voice was self-assured, confident, and direct. Everyone breathed a sigh of relief. There was now no reason to walk down 92 or 82 or 102 flights of stairs. Do I go back to work? Do I wait here for more instructions? Glancing around, I saw a sign, 70th floor, re-entry on 71 and 63. Hell, up or down, a 30-something construction worker asked. 71 is closer. Might as well keep going down, right? He continued. Hey, sounds good, I replied. Keep in mind the plane entered floors 77 to 85. As the stairwell cleared, I hastily made my way down to 63 and opened the door into Morgan Stanley Dean Witter. I headed straight for the elevator bay and pressed both buttons on the wall. Neither lit. Damn, I'll just have to wait for the power to be restored. Curious, I walked through the office to the north windows. I could see paper and debris flying from above. I was one of 40 or so refugees that found themselves on the 63rd floor of Tower 2 at 9 a.m. on September 11th. Watching others pick up random phones and dial out, I decided it was a good opportunity to do the same. I found a cubicle on the north side of the building. I picked up the phone and dialed my fiance's number. I should have known she would not be at her desk. It was 8 a.m. Central Time. Susan, this is Mike. Something happened to the World Trade Center. Something happened to the other tower, but I'm okay. I think a plane may have hit the other tower. I've never seen anything like it. Very scary, but I'm okay. I love you, sweetie, and I'll call you soon. I left a similar message on my mother's cell phone and hung up, feeling at least a little better at that point. Not a minute later, I was fighting for my life. I remember crouching. I don't remember the impact, but I remember crouching to maintain my balance. Raw instincts took control before I could process what was happening. This time there was no gawking, no lingering. There was only the instant and unambiguous urge to flee. The lights shot off, a wall buckled, and tiles crashed into the cubicle where I had just stood. The building was coming down around me. Within seconds, black fume-filled smoke began to seep through the broken walls and ceiling, filling the office space with intolerable air. Instantly, I was on my hands and knees, gasping. I couldn't see 10 feet in front of me, but I clawed my way into the center of the building where I heard yelling and commotion. No, the stairwell, it's on fire, someone desperately shouted from down the hall. I kept moving, crawling ahead, inhaling black smoke and dust, desperate for an escape. Think. Go to the windows, break a window, or with a chair or a desk or anything. Need to breathe, need fresh air. My sphere of invulnerability was shattered at that moment. I was no longer in a marvel of human creativity and resourcefulness. I was no longer in a symbol of American and capitalistic power and pride. I was trapped in a glass coffin with no entrance or exit and only seconds to live. I was utterly helpless. I could jump. Wait, no, I'm on the 63rd floor. How far is that? Think. Please, God, help. I turned back into the commotion. There was movement nearby. Where are they? Where are they going? A man's voice came from down the hall. Over here, hurry! I got up into a low crouch, sacrificing valuable air for speed. I hustled toward the voice, still frantically yelling into the smoke. I saw light shining through a doorway. My eyes burned, and through tears, I saw a stairwell. Smoke flooded the narrow passageway, but the fumes had yet to seep in. It was easier to breathe and seemed more able to sustain life than that black smoke. My legs were shaking terribly as once again I started down the stairs. Uncontrollable fear flooded my body. I moved down an entire flight of stairs before realizing that the passage was as hot as an oven. The intensity of the heat was suffocating. I could hear people in front and in back of me hyperventilating. Sweat was pouring from our bodies. It was a slow, arduous trek down the remaining floors. We emerged into the plaza level of Tower 2, and though shaken, briefly rejoiced for successful navigating the fire escape of Tower 2. We were free. Clearly, had Mike listened to the intercom instead of his instincts, instead of his heart, he would have been vaporized in Tower 2. Keep in mind that the plane hit Tower 2 in the 70s, and Mike barely escaped by following other directions to get him below harm's way. His body and his legs were telling him an urgent message, which most of us would have dismissed from our thinking minds. That is the crux of the first quest, the visioning one. Listen to your heart. Learning to do this more effectively will probably be one of the most important things you will ever do. Certainly in this case, it was life-saving, but our lives are made up more by the small moments and decision points we encounter. To be on track, we need to tap into this reliable guidance system. Until next time, remember, our real purpose is to fit ourselves to be of maximum service to light and the lights about us. We do that by finding, rescuing, and unleashing the light inside. Light on.